What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at 9,657. We are down 2.65%. I have about 4 or 5 things that I wanted to go through with you today. And we're going to go through the good, we're going to go through the bad on Bitcoin. And one of the things that I don't like to see, guys, that I'm going to point out right away is the fact that we are breaking back down through $10,000. It didn't act as a strong support. We should have gotten a bounce off there, in my opinion. That's a strong psychological level, and the fact that we broke up through that was a big deal, and we wanted to find support off that. So the fact that we did not find support off $10,000, that is definitely something that you do want to put in the bearish camp, but I still think there's more bullish things going for Bitcoin than there is bearish things. And I'm going to get into all this, guys. If you like these videos, you like me covering them, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, and also leave me some comments down below what you think about Bitcoin. I believe this is just a breathing period for Bitcoin, which it needs. The market is like a human being. It needs to breathe. And whenever anything goes straight up, just like you saw over here, where it goes extremely parabolic in the matter of, guys, less than a month, where we went from $7,500 all the way up to $14,000, I don't want that again. When that happens and we don't have those proper stair steps of higher highs and higher lows, that's when you get in trouble. And then after a big blow off top like that, you have over 6 months of a correction a lot of the times. These trends will run anywhere from 6 months, I'd say 3 months, 6 months, and then sometimes, like our bear market, you can have it run for over a year or more. So this is definitely something you want to pay attention to, the trends, but we have not broken that market structure yet. So for Bitcoin, where I'm looking, first area of support that I want to see is for us to hold right around the area we're at right now, and that's around $9,500, $9,600. You can see it was this previous top that we had. We broke through it on a nice strong candle here on decent volume, and we continued to make that move up. This is where I would want us to find support. So we cooled down. Let's find support here and then potentially make that next move to the upside and challenge around $10,430. But this was a big area for us here that we broke through. We want that to become resistance. Now, if that area does not hold, what I'm looking down to is the 200 moving average. If we break down below 8,869 after trading up above that and also setting higher lows up above that, then we could be in a little bit more trouble, guys. And that's what I wanted to point out to you here. I believe we'll find support off the 200-day moving average. That's just me. And we still have the potential of this golden cross, this 50 moving over this 200. And that's why I like this cool down that we're having. If we were all the way overextended up into here and our RSI is past 70 and we're going to try to have one of these golden crosses to push us up over $14,000, we needed a breather. Just like back in here, do you see how the market breathed? And then we made that next pump. It breathes, and you make the next pump. It's breathing, and we're going to have to find where we're going to make support here and then potentially have that next leg up. So first of all, I'm looking at $9,500. Then I'm going to look at that 8,869 and also that 50 moving average at 8,816. So we don't want to drop below 8,800. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put an alarm right here around, we'll call it $8,900. And I think you guys should really put this in as well, just so you can see what we do with this 200-day moving average if we are to go down there and start trying to find support off that. And what you look for is a bullish reversal candlestick pattern off that area or off the support area that we're at right now. So in terms of this, we're looking at the one-day chart here, and we're looking at this candle, and we're going to see if we close below this 20, which we've been up above now since January 6, 2020. So that would be a significant close for us. If we start having a real nasty close below that, guys, is something that you will want to pay attention to, because that could be enough to where we start dropping down to that 9,100 and then eventually down there to that 200 moving average. You have to remember, in cryptocurrency, the pumps are extremely fast and aggressive, and the sell-offs are extremely fast and aggressive. And something else I was looking at, which I'm going to share with you all here. So whenever we're having these sell-offs, they typically last between about 7 to 14 days before you get that next pump up, and then you'll have another 4 or 5 days, sometimes up to 2 weeks, like I said, and then you'll have that next pump. So right now, going off this doji candle at the top that we ended up having, our top pattern there, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on about day 5 of cooling down. So could we cool down more? Absolutely. But we're getting to that spot, guys, where we need to find support after breathing and then make that next strong move to the upside. So what I wanted to do next was go into a couple indicators with y'all. And first we'll go into the relative strength index. Relative strength is at 53. So like I said, I think that's a good thing that we are cooling down before we potentially get this golden cross. I don't want to see a golden cross take place when our RSI is up around 80. I want to have room to really run, set that nice strong higher low, and then be aggressive to start breaking through that resistance. Anytime you break through resistance, remember, you want it to become support. That's extremely important. And another area here that we were looking at least I was paying a lot of attention to as I was playing Bitcoin, you could draw a trend line off this area as well and kind of just look here. So guys, we're going to try to get as many touches as possible. I want to do this with you. I want to see if we could get this one in down here. No, I don't like that. So it'd probably be about right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then look what happened when we broke down through that. That was the sell-off. And guys, as I've been playing this, I actually did sell out up at this top area. And what I'm doing now is waiting for that next area that I want to go long. And, you know, I wouldn't recommend that for people who are just a longer term, you know, trend follower in terms of the intermediate to longer term trend. But what I like to do is try to accumulate as much as I can without going into my bank account. So when I clearly see a sell-off taking place like I did up in here, I'm going to take my profit and I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to be patient till the next area that I believe we could get a bounce off of and start setting buy areas in that spot. But I think it's so important to pay attention to this trend, and the trend is still up. You know, I'm not super concerned about this right now. I know some other people are freaking out, but for me, I think this is what the market truly needed. If we would have kept even going up higher and higher and higher up into these areas, then I would have been even more nervous, because we could have been looking at something like this, where we just all of a sudden it's an all-out wicked dump. So that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. Lower target's going to be down here, or the alarm set at 8,921, and then to the upside, I'm going to set another alarm, and this is going to be at 10,393, and that was our previous high that we ended up getting to before we started to have this little bit of a correction, or this little bit of a sell-off. So you can see that up in here, alarm 10,393 to the upside, and to the downside we were looking at 8,921. And next I wanted to go into trading view with you here, and I wanted to get into some of the technicals. So on the 1-day chart, and this is just factoring everything, and what I like about this for the oscillators, it's going to take into account your stock RSI, your relative strength, your awesome oscillator. It's going to factor them all together, and it's going to give you a number. So right now we're a little more neutral here, as you can see in this the area, just to be careful. 9 sell, 10 neutral, 9 buy. So that's about as neutral as you can get right there. So that just coin toss right now, waiting to see where we're going to set a higher low potentially and make that next move. Oscillators, 9 neutral, 1 sell, 1 buy. You can see everything right now, guys, is just really neutral. We're just waiting. We're in that limbo period. And then moving averages, we're at 8 for a sell, we're at 1 for a neutral, and then we're at 8 for a buy. And the reason why we're there is because the 8 for sell, we're dropping below that 20 moving average right now, but at least on my charts, we're still up above the 40 moving average, we're up above the 50, and we're up above the 200. So that's also going to lead to some buying signals. And then as we go into here, this is what I was showing you. Relative strength, we're neutral. Stock, we're neutral. Awesome oscillator, we're neutral. Momentum, we're a buy. MACD levels, we're a sell. So you can go through this stuff and just kind of look and see. I mean, down to the exponential moving average, simple moving average, and you can take a look at all this stuff, and then you can factor in for yourself what you believe that we're going to do for the next round for Bitcoin. So guys, that's what I'm looking at right now. I just wanted to come on here because I know a lot of people, they're freaking out, they're nervous about all this, and I just kind of wanted to be the voice of reason. This is how markets work. Markets pump and then they cool down. And just to give you an example as I'm looking here, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I'm a guy who likes to go off past history. A lot of times the past history can lead to some of the future results. It doesn't always have to happen, but you definitely want to pay attention to it. So the last time we had a sell-off, we went down almost 11%, right? So let's take a look where we're at now. So from the top all the way to the bottom there, we're looking almost exactly at that 11%. Then let's do a couple other ones here. So you go from here down. This one was a little bit shorter, but that was still around 6%. And guys, this is what has to happen in the market. If you can't sit through, and this is where I'll tell people, don't be in this market if you can't sit through these retracements. If they drive you crazy, this market isn't for you. There's times you're going to have to sit in a loss, even though you know the market could potentially be going, you know, to the upside again. There's people back in here who were freaking out. They saw this and we lost 10%. They said, okay, it's been down 10%. I'm going to sell out. And then look what happened right after they sold out. When you're in an uptrend like we're in now, trying to get into that intermediate term uptrend, that's when you want to be hodling. That's when you want to hold the coins, unless you're a scalper or a short-term trader, something like I'm trying to do, just to accumulate more without having to pay for them. you want to be holding through these areas. You don't want to be holding in a downtrend. All throughout this back half of 2019, this is not when you want to hodl. When you're having lower highs and lower lows, that is not when you want to hodl, guys. You want to hodl when you're in those uptrends. But like I said, we don't want to have another blow off top. That was a blow off top, and we had a massive bear market after it. This was a massive blow off top right up in here, and we had that nasty bear market after that. So you can see each time it goes parabolic like that, that's when we get into trouble. So we want a nice, healthy trend coming out of this inverse head and shoulders, and we want to continue to make those moves to the upside, break resistance, turn them into support. That's what I'm all about, guys. So I'm going to try to do the best I can for you. Like I said, this is not financial advice, but I'm still looking for that golden cross. I'm looking at this as a breathing period, and I think Bitcoin's going to be able to make some strong moves to the upside and potentially challenge that $14,000 again down the road here. So you get something from this, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wish you all a wonderful Monday, and just continue to study this the best that you can. Don't freak out, and let's just see what the next few days bring for us here. So take care, guys. God bless you all.